Well, hey guys, here we are. We're range trip number 3 with Project Big 7. So this time around, made some, I don't know, not significant, but maybe significant changes. I've got totally different powder. We're going super slow. We've got Rotumbo in there today. And I also adjusted seating depth. Got 2 different loads. I adjusted seating depth on one, not on the other. And both are running Rotumbo. We've got 139 grain Hornady SST. Now, before you freak out, that's not a bullet that I would probably ever hunt with in the Big 7 because the velocities are pretty high for that bullet. If you knew your shots were all going to be 300, big open country on antelope or something, maybe you would. And then I've got the 162 ELDX, and both of them are over top of Rotumbo. So that's going to be a pretty big change. The other loads were much faster burning powder, and I have found in the past the other Big 7s I've had, they did like that case being full usually. So we're going to see how that works out. Pretty nice out, no wind. It's like 42 degrees. So let's get rolling here and see what happens. Oh, wow. Okay. We're talking now. There's actually 2 in that hole right there. And then 1 there, and that's 3/4 inch. For sure. So that's the best group we've got. If you guys see other shots on this target, if they have that black dash by them, it means they're from our last session. So, well, let's send some more down there and see what happens. It's definitely not worth getting too excited yet over just one group, but we finally did get a group under an inch. And one of those shots was cold bore, first shot of the day. And the other 2, of course, were follow on that. So, yeah, well, it's promising, but could just be a fluke. Let's see what happens. Well, we'll walk up here and check this second group. I haven't been yakking as much here, walking back and forth today. And I think I've even forgot to say that these are the 139 SSTs here. You know, got all carried away and excited after that first group, but probably pretty premature to get excited. Yeah, these are the 139 SSTs. I think the SSTs are a little bit of a misunderstood bullet from Hornady. They have the reputation, you know, or I guess the perception of being super fragile, this blow up on game. And that's true at certain velocities. They're going to be like a nozzler ballistic tip and stuff like that. But they're just a cup and core bullet with a polymer tip, right? They're no different than Hornady's interlocks. In fact, they have an interlock. SSTs have an interlock on them. So, you know, if they're used properly, they're a great bullet. I've actually seen some awesome performance from SSTs. And honestly, I think there's really no difference in performance on game between SST and ELDX. ELDX is just cup and core. Yeah, my brother shot a cow moose several years ago with his 300 Win Mag and 165 SSTs. Perfect terminal performance. She never took another step. You know, and that's a high velocity cartridge, and it was between 200 and 300 yards. So, you know, probably left the muzzle at over 3,000, and it performed well. So anyway, let's see what happened here. Well, there's group number 2. Oh boy, isn't that interesting? We've got the 2 tight and the 1 flyer. And we had that really in that first group. Even though that first group was under an inch, We had the two in the same hole, and then we had the flyer. So that's getting to be a really common theme with this rifle. It gives me a little bit of confidence that it's not me. Putting two in there real good, one's getting away. Last time, remember, we tried to space out the shots and just let it cool between all the shots, and we didn't quite get there with that. We did get close. That was the best group we'd had at that point using that technique. So yeah, we're still at the drawing board for sure. I think now I'll zip a couple groups of these 162s with Rotumbo and just see what happens, right? See if this 2 in, 1 out theme continues or exactly what's going on there. Yeah, having fun with it. Well, those 162 ELDX with Rotumbo, those were attention getters at the bench there. Big boom. And one of them, I'll tell you right now, I think one of them got high on me. I didn't feel good about my very first shot. The second two felt better, but don't know what to expect with my eyes, with the lighting. I'm not seeing all the detail through the scope. And some of you might ask, where's your spotting scope, Mike? Just get it set up there so you can see exactly what's going on. Yeah, I could. I don't know. I like the exercise of walking back and forth here and being able to yak as I'm doing it. So it's all good. But yeah, let's go up here and see what happened with these 162s. Who knows? Yeah, that first one that's high, I did see that one and I felt that one. And then there's the other two. You know, that's going to get really close to an inch. So that's somewhat promising. You know, and with these 162s, those I didn't fiddle with seating depth. I left it what I had been using with other powders. So, which is pretty much maximum what the magazine will allow. So maybe we'll see what another group does. I've got 3 more of those. We'll see what it does. But maybe next thing is to fiddle with seating depth a little bit on that 162. And but dang it, that's really close. I think if we mic that out, we'd have an inch. I don't like to be right at an inch, right? I'm looking to get below an inch, 3/4 inch, 1/2 inch. So we'll see. Let's send 3 more of the 162s, and we'll probably call it good for range trip number 3. Well, all right, guys. Sorry if the wind, it's kicked up a little bit, so I want to get that last group down. I don't think the wind made a difference on it, but I could see the third one a little high and left, but the first 2 I think felt really good. We'll see when we get there. So as I'm walking up though, you know, it's a mind blower that on the last pole we've got a dead tie between a Project 270 or a Project 7M08. They're like 200 and some votes. It's sitting at 50%. It's dead tied. I kind of feel like somebody's going in there and rigging that by creating a new account and voting to get that thing to tie up, so we have to do both projects. I don't know. You guys tell me if that's happened. But obviously there's a lot of interest in both. So that's interesting. I'll have to think that through and see what I want to do. I don't have a 7M08. I don't have anything for that. I have all the 270 gear. So I'll have to think that through. But I sure appreciate your participation and your passion around those 2 cartridges. The projects would be awesome. I'm sure we'd have a lot of fun with it. So anyway, thanks again. Let's see what happened here at the target. Yeah, these were the first 2 in the green, and that was the third. And I kind of felt that. So, doggone it, I'm going to say that, pull this target here. I'm going to say that we've made some progress here. I was feeling really good on that last group. I knew those first two were right in there. And I felt the third one get a little bit crazy on me. I'm going to say that was me. And maybe after, maybe the third shot of the recoil has got me a little bit worked up too. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've shot a rifle with this much recoil. And I know compared to lots of other rifles, this isn't much, but for me right now it is. So very interesting. I feel like this was a good trip, guys, a good range trip. I feel like I got something to work with here with that slower burning powder, maybe fiddling around with seating depth. I think for the first time, I'm going to take the stock off. I'm just going to clean everything up and put it back on and make sure all those things are torqued properly, and just kind of look and see if there's anything fishy going on there. And I think I might lighten the trigger up a little bit too. It's a little bit stiff, and I think that might help me out just a little bit if I back that off, maybe quarter pound, half pound. So I might start fiddling with some of that stuff. Not sure yet. Just trying to get this project moving along as quick as we can, considering the weather that's coming. And you never know how long I'll have access to where I like to shoot. That can get shut down as winter moves in. But yeah, good trip. Look forward to your comments, and we'll keep plugging along.